Now let me introduce you to the subject of this case, Mr. George Jarkesy Jr. Shortly after the passage of the Dodd-Frank Act, the SEC initiated an enforcement action for civil penalties against investment advisor George Jarkesy Jr. and his firm Patriot 28 LLC for alleged violations of the anti-fraud provisions contained in the federal securities laws. The SEC opted to adjudicate the matter in-house. As relevant, the final order determined that Jarkesy and Patriot 28 had committed securities violations and levied a civil penalty of $300,000. Jarkesy and Patriot 28 petitioned for judicial review. So after an in-house review, the SEC leveled a civil penalty of $300,000. Mr. Jarkesy asked for a court to review the case. The Fifth Circuit vacated the order on the ground that adjudicating the matter in-house violated the defendant's Seventh Amendment right to a jury trial. The Fifth Circuit vacated the order because, in the court's view, it violated the Seventh Amendment. The Seventh Amendment is one of those due process amendments. What does the Seventh Amendment say? In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. Interestingly, the $20 minimum is not indexed for inflation. Even though $20 in 1789 would be over $700 today, all it takes is a controversy of $20 for you to have a right to a jury trial. That is, if it's a common lawsuit. Because the claims at issue here implicate the Seventh Amendment, a jury trial is required unless the public rights exception applies. Under this exception, Congress may assign the matter for decision to an agency without a jury consistent with the Seventh Amendment. For the reasons below, the exception does not apply. So the SEC anti-fraud provisions are just like common law fraud. So this is a suit of common law. What is this public rights exception the court is talking about, though? Public rights are the rights enjoyed by persons as members of the public and distinct from private rights attached to the personality of the individual or deriving from the property owned by him. Public rights may derive from the common law, such as the right of members of the public to pass and repass along the highway, or from statute. Are there cases that involve public rights and therefore do not fall under the jurisdiction of the courts because they do not involve a controversy of law or equity? There may be, but that's not the situation in this case. The SEC claims that the public rights exception applies because Congress created new statutory obligations, imposed civil penalties for their violations, and then committed to an administrative agency the function of deciding whether a violation had in fact occurred. Congress cannot conjure away the Seventh Amendment by mandating that traditional legal claims be taken to an administrative tribunal. The SEC's argument that Grand Fianna does not apply because the government is the party bringing this action also fails. What matters is the substance of the suit, not where it was brought, who brings it, or how it is labeled. Put another way, the SEC claims that Congress created an exception to the Seventh Amendment by allowing them to handle the cases in-house.